I was a young dancer and I went to a dance festival in Venezuela, in Caracas. And after a week of taking some classes and teaching there and having a really great time, I went up to a mountain with a few friends. And we were just trekking and hiking, and long story short, I fell down very far. I fell down 6-7 stories. I fell down far more than I should ever have fallen down, and it was literally a miracle that I didn't die. So, but I didn't, and as a matter of fact, my injuries were very, very minor compared to what had happened to me. But I broke my feet, I broke my knees, I broke my elbow, I broke my nose, I broke many things, and I was really beat up. And that was kind of unlucky, being a young dancer. I just moved to New York to see if I could make it over there, as they say in the song. But so with all these injuries sustained, I had to go into rehabilitation. It took me 2 years to get back on my feet. I moved back to New York as a young dancer. Again, try to take up dancing again. This time a friend introduced me to yoga in a dance class, and I liked very much a particular part of her class. And I said, "What is this? I have never tried these kind of movements before." She said, "Oh, that's yoga." She said, "You should, if you like this very much, you should come with me to my teacher and take class there." So she brought me to Jiva Mukti, to David and Sharon's yoga studio. It was in 1994, and it was before they made it really big. They only had one yoga studio, and it was like a purple, orange, gold place with Om signs all over the walls, and they played kind of spiritual rock and roll in all the classes, and it was a super fun place. Probably the hippest, coolest spot in town. All Merce Cunningham's dancers were there, and Willem Dafoe, and a lot of famous musicians and actors like Joan Jett and Sting and other people. They would come and practice there. So it was kind of fun. It was kind of like celebrity spotting a little bit to go there. And anyway, I really enjoyed it. My first class, they put me down facing dog, and I felt like my knees was receiving some lubrication, some energy, some prana actually, for the first time for these 2 years. It was just soaking up, like the movements was very healthy for my knees. So that was kind of what I felt. I thought, wow, this is really good for my knees. At the same time, I had an incredible kind of like emotional, spiritual, mental experience where I felt such a need to ask for forgiveness, and I couldn't figure out what it was. I could just feel this urge, and I wasn't sure exactly what it was, so I just made up a couple of things to ask for forgiveness for, so I could kind of channel that urge. So all things considered, on a physical level, on an emotional level, and beyond, it just sat really well with me. So after that, I started to take less dance classes and started to take these yoga classes, and use them as my preparation for my body every day to go into rehearsal of dance. After a couple of years, I moved back to Copenhagen and continued this practice there mostly every day that I had learned at the Jiva Mukti Center. And then in 98, 99, I met a European senior Ashtanga certified yoga teacher called Lino Miele from Italy, and started to practice with him. And he taught me the first series, the second series, and the third series over some years. And he always talked about Guruji. He always talked about Guruji and Guruji and Guruji. And he was always speaking a little bit with the pidgin English, the Indian accent, and what Guruji would say and what he didn't say. And after a while, it was obvious that I had to go and meet Guruji. And I was very afraid of that. because my body was fragile, and I was afraid that when I went to Guruji that he would ask me to do things that I knew my body would break from doing, so I would have to say no to him. I said I thought I could feel he was my guru already at that time, so I made a deal with myself that I needed to know enough yoga to go to Guruji, so I didn't need to say no, so I could say yes all the way. And after a while I did that, and I think in 2003 was the first time I went to Mysore and started to practice under Guruji's eye and Sharat's eye, and Saraswati was in the shala at that time too. And I haven't stopped going since.